first question comes from Shrikant in Mumbai. He's asking if the Renault Kwid is good for long drives of up to 800 kilometers and if it's good in hilly mountainous areas. Shrikant, the information I don't have is what you're comparing that to. Now, if it's the like cars from the same segment, the Eon and the Alto family, then yes, the Kwid is the better option. It's more comfortable for a longer drive with a lot more cabin space, good drivability and a pretty good suspension as well. Of course, if you start to compare to slightly more expensive or more sophisticated vehicles, then that answer will change. But for the most part, assuming that's what you mean, it does meet your criteria. The next question comes from Sai in Chennai. He's looking to buy a hatchback at about 4 to 5 lakh rupees, and the options he's considering: the Kwid, the Celerio, the Wagoner and the Swift. Now the Swift, of course, is perhaps the most sporty and therefore the most fun car out of the lot. The Kwid is the new one on the block. These are the two I would urge you to consider. The Swift is a slightly more sophisticated product, but it's kind of at the end of its life cycle now. I would still urge you to therefore look at the Swift still, because it allows you to move up a segment and it's not a compromised vehicle in any sense. So of those four, the Swift would be my choice. Up next, it's Viraj from Cochin, who wants to know if he should buy the Hyundai Creta with the 1.4 or the 1.6 diesel. If it's punchy performance you're looking for, the 1.6 certainly has a lot more of it, Viraj. And if you compare the two cars, both these engines have been doing duty in India for some time now. The Verna had the 1.4 as well. It's efficient, it's reliable, and it'll certainly get the job done. So if you're looking for a sort of a commuter which pretty much handles itself capably enough in city traffic, and you're not really looking for high performance, the 1.4 is more than adequate, and it'll also save you not just money, but give you good mileage too. The 1.6 though is definitely the more fun, the more sporty, and it's a good combination with a manual gearbox. If you are looking for an automatic, well then you don't have a choice. It is the 1.6. You will have to opt for it. Next question comes to us from up north in Kashmir, from Ishraq. He's looking to buy a CVT. You do have the Baleno now with the CVT, but he's comparing it to the Honda Jazz. Which is the better option? Well, given the fact that you might look to drive this car not just in the city but outside the city, I don't know which part of Kashmir you're writing in from, but if you're outside of Srinagar, the further away you go from an urban center, the more reliability you need on a good network. And between Honda and Maruti certainly wins that battle and has been present in Kashmir for quite some time now, so you will not have any problem when it comes to any kind of parts or any kind of maintenance or service requirements that you could have. From that perspective, I think the Baleno is the better option for you. Both the cars have a very similar sort of performance with the CVT. The Jazz is a little bit more refined. However, the Baleno will give you a little bit more performance. So especially if you're looking at driving up hilly surfaces, well then again the Baleno would probably be the better choice. And I'll take a quick question in from Twitter. This is coming from Mudit, who wants to know if he should buy a Swift or the new Ford Figo, and if Global NCAP is planning to crash the new Ford Figo as well. Well, the last Figo was crashed, and I don't have any update for you whether or not this particular model is being considered, especially the Made in India one. Remember, the Ford car is based on the same car and has been launched in other markets as well. So there could be certain tests being carried out on that. If I hear something on that, you will hear about it too. Going back to your original question, between the Swift and the Ford Figo, both cars are fairly sporty, both are well built and both are capable, but the Figo gives you a little bit extra in terms of having standard safety features, and it's related to your question about crash testing, which is why I'm going to go ahead and opt for the Ford Figo. The Swift has also been around for a while, so there's a novelty factor associated with the Figo as well.